Jennifer Vatsa here. Not that I'm pulling my hair out, but I've been pulling my hair out all day. Anyways, just wanted to give everyone a quick update on the present and future of, and probably past of our Poison Path products on our Belladonna's Botanicals website. As some of you may know from my posts on social media and our e-newsletter earlier today, that despite having my website, I've been using Squarespace for 3 years now, and despite having used PayPal amongst other things for 3 years now, PayPal froze my account for because well because of the products I sell that contain Datura stramonium. They listed Papaver somniferum flowers, but I don't know if that includes, because I think the poppies I use are maybe red poppies. I'm not entirely sure. But that's Papaver rubeus, as well as, synthetic poppy fragrance oil, which shouldn't be affected, but I'll get to that in a minute, and fly agaric mushrooms. So now what this means, what they did to me with my business PayPal account is that means in order to get my PayPal account reinstated, I had to remove all the products that contain that from my own personal freaking website. I can't just close or delete the connection with PayPal until I do that, which is a big fuck you to PayPal. But anyways, so what that means is I can't pay anyone using PayPal, and I do use PayPal to pay some of my employees. I can't send money or payments, obviously. Can't receive money or payments. I can't withdraw money from PayPal, which luckily I don't have anything in there at the current moment. Can't add money to the PayPal account. I can't remove a bank account. I can't remove a debit card or credit card or close my PayPal account until they reinstate my fucking account. So it's like, yeah, sure, I can, just be like, well, okay, I no longer take PayPal on my website, whatever. But in order to do that, I have to come up with a lot of hopefully temporary stopgap measures. But this is part of a larger issue for me, because I have been running into more and more issues. And I don't want to become in danger of just not being able to use any credit card processing companies that most people use. Because I already lost access to using, I didn't say anything about it because I don't really use it, but like I can't process payments through QuickBooks because QuickBooks does not allow, if you offer occult services like tarot readings or anything like that, you can't use QuickBooks. I really wish there were some occult lobbyists out there who would like actually protect our religious and spiritual freedoms, but that's a whole other issue. Because it is religious discrimination that things that we use for our spirituality are fraudulent. Yet, mega churches exist, televangelists exist, and, but I digress. So I've been spent most of the day, trying to get the stuff taken down from my website, and most of it is listed on eBay right now, on my eBay site right now. I'll put the link below in the description. And so if you don't see it on our website, look on our eBay. I may end up just moving everything over to eBay for now, because I just don't want to endanger my ability to process payments for the entire website until I come up with a long-term solution. I know other businesses who sell Poison Path products, and some of my vendors who sell them, and a lot use eBay, as like the person I was getting my Datura Anoxia from. I used to get it from them on Etsy. Etsy delisted their Datura, so now I get it from them through their eBay shop. So some eBay may be a little more lax on that than some of the other platforms like Etsy and Amazon and my Shopify and stuff like that. But so that's right now, eBay is going to be my stopgap option for continuing to provide some of my Poison Path products. And that's the flying ointments, herbal tinctures and elixirs, and the herbal smoke blends. It's been see where I'm at right now is this has become an increasingly frustrating thing for me. I'm constantly having to deal with things being delisted on Etsy and Amazon and stuff for various product policy violations. Everything I use in my products is 100% legal to use, at least in the United States. Every country has different things, like some some countries may restrict nightshades or whatever, but that's by the country. So the problem that's happening is that a lot of herbs that give you a euphoric sense or a relaxing sense are kind of getting classified as synthetic cannabinoids. Or I mean, the reason Etsy, or not Etsy, eBay did not eBay, sorry, PayPal cited the policy violation was for selling drugs, narcotics, and drug paraphernalia for these products. I don't want to endanger my business by any means, because I do sell a lot more than Poison Path products, but this is just becoming a constant source of frustration, to say the very least, because it's like, I just got through the period of time in which my the supplier for my belladonna and European mandrake were out of stock for months on end. I literally just got my belladonna back in stock like 2 days ago. So I'm gonna be I'm able to restock some of those products, but I'm at the point where I'm very likely not going to be developing more Poison Path products. I may pare down my offerings, looking at what are the best sellers, what because I mean just to remove any redundancy and stuff like that. But one of the things I'm looking at is I have always prided myself in my business ethics for my transparency in being upfront about what is in my products. I always have put full ingredient listings on there, and I first removed them from Amazon because after I could not convince anyone at Amazon that my perfume that contained opium fragrance oil, even including a link to where I bought the opium fragrance oil, was not heroin. I couldn't convince them I did not have opioids in this perfume. So having to deal with these constant things is frustrating. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just not putting my ingredients on things anymore. When they make these sweeping policies, and it's like I couldn't even say in a description has an opium like aroma or something, because okay, it's got opium in it now. Or I had problems with incense listings by describing the charcoal discs that you burn loose incense on being like the ones you use for hookah pipes. So now it's a tobacco product and weed, apparently. And a lot of the herbs that they've determined to be synthetic cannabinoids are things like Damiana, wild lettuce, clipdaga, and a whole host of other things. So it's harder and harder for me to work with and use these things. And, with the supply chain issues I've had recently with the belladonna, which is, at least I got new ones, and a new order in, or new shipment rather. And the European Mandrake, I still haven't gotten my supplier's still out of it. But yeah. So I'm trying to figure out ways, big picture ways to do this, because the flying ointments and stuff do, it's probably it's a rather large chunk of my revenue generated, and this is my sole form of income, and I don't want to jeopardize that. So I have a couple options that I'm looking at long term. Is maybe that I create a secondary website where I only sell those products, that is completely separate from my Belladonna's Botanicals website, because I mean, other people I know that sell it use Google Pay, Cash App, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency things. So they're not using regular standard like Stripe or PayPal or any kind of credit card processing that way. That may be an option that I have to investigate. There is a possibility to that I'm trying, as someone who has chronic pain issues and mental health issues, I'm trying to make my life easier and having to deal with this. Now, the issue that comes up with having a secondary site and using something like Google Pay or Cash App is you place the order. I then have to send you an invoice for the order with a way to pay me for the order. Because like what happens when I order something from one of my vendors is I place the order through their website. I then have to go to Google Pay, put in whatever it is, the total that I owe them and the order number, and pay them that way. It just adds an extra step to the things that I have to do. So that's one thing. I do want to make things easier on myself because, with having chronic pain and, my neurodivergent brain and stuff like that, it's a lot for me. Like I like was having a meltdown all day because this is just very frustrating. Like PayPal sent me an email with, please reference these 3 transactions that were over the course of, from 2021 to last year. And I go into the, thing and I'm searching by transaction ID and none of them came up. I'm like, well, what the heck is the good of you sending me? You sent me 3 transaction IDs and nothing comes up when I search for them. This is completely useless. And I find stuff like that for me is very like rage inducing and meltdown inducing, and because I get very frustrated with it. And it's very hard for me to have to deal with a lot of these things. So that is a consideration into what long-term I plan on doing with this. Now, one of the other options that I'm thinking about, I do actually kind of like this option, would be, I've been planning on doing live streams again. I know we keep saying that, and I did not do one last year. But this year I am going to do them. Hoping to get that started soon. It's just been a shit show so far this year, fucking Mercury retrograde. But one of the things I could incorporate within doing, like, whether I do weekly or semi-regular live streams, is that once a month I can do a live sale through the stream, be like, okay, I have, if you log into, I would do this through YouTube most likely, like I have 20 Bella Blue flying ointments available, 10 Lucifer flying ointments and whatnot. And people would be like, yes, there's a lot of people who do live sale type things online. A lot of them are people who sell crystal stuff. Like I know Sage Goddess is one who does regular live sales like that. Granted, she's a much bigger following than I do, but I digress. So that is one option, that I can do things kind of, in a clustered monthly batch as I make things and have them on hand so I can get them out there. And then that way I can just send you an invoice and you can pay me however the fuck you want to pay me. And there's nothing that's linking it to any product on a website. So, but again, I have to kind of be careful there too with YouTube terms of service. I'd have to look into if there's any, fine print there that would allow that. But, I think I would just have to be like, okay, I have Bella Blue flying ointment and say nothing about what's in it. Not be like, because again, if people are looking at this from the outside in of, oh, well, she's selling drugs to get people high through her YouTube channel, I could lose my channel, which is obviously not what I'm doing. But if they have no brain cells to discern, spirituality from drug addiction, then, I there's nothing I can do. So that's one option that I can do. Yeah, it's a giant pain in my butthole. But right now I submitted everything so far, so I'm waiting to hear back from PayPal. I'm sorry, I'm sorry if this is just randomly all over the place. My brain is randomly all over the place. I'm waiting to hear back from PayPal as to whether they will unfreeze my account or not. And I think even if once they unfreeze my account, I may just remove PayPal altogether from my website, because fuck you, that's why. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you screw me? No, you don't get all the fees from me now. Anyways, what else did I want to say about this? So I find the whole thing really disheartening in a lot of ways, because it brings up a broader issue, is that as wherever you fall in the occult spectrum of spiritual practices and witchcraft and whatnot, is that we don't get the same religious protections that other religions get. And that kind of sucks. And there's no one that understands the nuances of using sacred plant medicine, who's making these fucking bullshit law, policy violations on any of these platforms, that, they just see a word, okay, Datura. They look for anything that says Datura in it. Okay, well then, that's a drug now, and we're going to delete that. And they make it so hard to discern any of this information. Like, I had a few products delisted on Etsy recently. I can't remember if I talked about this in video or not. One was because I forgot to take the word pennyroyal out of like the description somewhere. Even though I had removed pennyroyal from the product because I had something else delisted back in June. I was able to relist it. They wouldn't relist the original listing. I had to create a new listing for it. I had an incense delisted because it had wild lettuce in it, or opium lettuce, as it were. And I had one of my non-toxic flying ointments delisted, which after much back and forth was because it had yohimba bark in it. So even things that are completely non-toxic, like I can almost understand, like, the Datura, Etsy, henbane kind of stuff, but it's like, if I can go to my local herb store and buy it without any problems in bulk, not illegal. And it shouldn't be restricted, because if it's that restricted, it shouldn't be sold in your regular herb store where you can go buy it in bulk for $20. But, and Jenn's brain is starting to slowly not work. It's just really frustrating, and I'm gonna do my best to keep everyone updated through social media, through my YouTube channel, about what's going on, where you can find our stuff. And if you're looking on our website and don't see things, please check our eBay or send us a message. I will be communicating when things are back in stock, because right now I was either low or out of stock on a lot of things, just because I just didn't have any belladonna on hand, and I'm down to like my last ounce of, or maybe even less than an ounce of mandrake root. So it's kind of like, what do I make with that one last ounce of mandrake root? So, anyways, yeah, it's just become increasingly frustrating with, especially with the poison path products. There's so few places I could sell them, and my own website was my last, bastion for being able to sell it. And I don't want to get kicked off, the Squarespace platform. I don't want to lose, being able to use Stripe for credit card processing. So good Lord, it's a pain in the ass. Um, but it's so discriminatory towards what is any difference between anything we do and any major religion. We just don't have the protections. So, and that's how I started my own religion. Um, I laugh, but I'm honestly considering, like, would it make my life easier if I started my own church and got the protected status within that and tax exemptions and all that to, you know, fuck the system? I don't know, whatever at this point. But it's very frustrating. Growing very, very frustrated with these platforms that, are making tons of money off of us and then screwing us in the end. Um, because I don't understand what does a payment processing platform give a shit about what I sell? I don't think anyone's going to sue Etsy or sue PayPal, or whatnot. But it's not, they don't. I'm pretty sure PayPal doesn't have a team of licensed or competent or even an herbalist on their team that can advise them on, okay, yes, eating a handful of raw datura seeds might fuck your shit up and kill you, but someone who knows how to use poison medicine and make these products in a safe way is not selling an illegal drug. Believe me, I've done enough drugs to know that I'm not selling fucking drugs. But anyways, on that note, sorry, my voice is a little hoarse, but yeah. So I'm have been having to deal with this all day. I still have to figure out, like, while they listed Datura stramonium as being one of the funny things, does that include Datura anoxia or belladonna or henbane or mandrake? So who the fuck knows? And I sent in the information I had to PayPal. Takes up to 3 business days for them to figure their shit out. So I may not know until sometime later next week as to whether or not they will uh reinstate my access to my PayPal account. But anyways, I've rambled for long enough. I'm rather tired, and I probably still have a shit ton of work to do, because also one of the things that it's going to take me a while to do, and I've started working on this already, is I'm no longer putting my ingredient listings on the website, on any website or platform. If you are concerned that because you have allergies or on medications or have medical conditions about any of our products, I will put as, like, do not use, I will leave product warnings as such, like, use caution if pregnant or nursing. Do not use if you have, whatever. Or don't use, don't ingest. So I'm gonna have very blanket product safety warnings, but I'm no longer including what I put in stuff. So if you have questions and concerns, if you're allergic to something, etc., feel free to email us. Our contact information is on our website and below, and comment wherever social media exists. But I can't, because I'm getting screwed because I'm being honest, is basically what this comes down to, is that I want you to know that this thing you're buying contains belladonna, you know, or this contains, sweet almond oil and avocado oil and calendula, so you don't, if you're allergic to one of those things, you're not going to get sick. But I don't know. I've got a business to run, and I'm at the point of being disabled, but probably not disabled enough to be disabled. If that makes sense. Actually, I looked into it last year, and like applying for disability would actually disable me more. So anyways, on that note, that cheery note of this country. Anyways, yeah. So love y'all. Sorry if you placed any orders and they're running a little late this weekend. I just do not have the spoons right now. I'm getting as much out tomorrow as I can. It's Friday when I'm recording this, so it's a little bit late in the day on the East Coast. I've had let me just tell you about my day. The least annoying thing today that happened was being woken up in the morning by the cacophonous sound of smashing glass, because the house across the street from me was on fire, and the firemen were busting out all the windows to vent it and put the fire out in the morning. So that's how I woke up today, to what the fuck is this breaking sound everywhere, and oh my god, it's my house, what's going on, and running out the door to see, be like, because my car was parked on the street too, which was also blocked in by fire trucks all day. And the smartest move I made today was canceling my dentist appointment. And the least annoying thing that happened today was stepping in cat barf, not once but twice. Jenn's had a day. Give Jenn some love. Oh, yes. And in between the house fire and having to deal with PayPal, I had to go mediate back and forth with UPS in the United States and Spain to get a customer's order through, because again, me and my stupid honesty, but like you have to put tariff codes on things that go to the European Union. TLDR, it's like essential oil 3301.29.000 or something like that. I code things in ways because there's really no tariff codes for metaphysical products. So, excuse me. And they were trying to determine whether the witchy products that this person ordered were cosmetics or, food, or I don't know. But I think it's resolved. But that was my morning. A fire, dealing with UPS, and then I was like, I can relax for a little bit. No, you can't. Jenn can't relax. Jenn can't have a good day today. Sorry. It's the kind of mood I'm in. I'm trying to make light of it a little bit. Also, regarding the house fire across the street, no one was home or injured during the fire. It's all taken care of. It was, the houses are boarded up now, etc. So today has been a whole ass day. And I, like the children's book says, I'm gonna go the fuck to sleep. And on that note, mic drop, Jenn out. Love y'all.